On its 10th birthday, the Apple Watch is getting a glow-up. The new Apple Watch Series 10, announced at Apple's September event, is getting its most significant upgrade in years with a new slimmer design, a larger screen and sleep apnea detection. With the Series 10, Apple is placing a major focus on the design and display. It's Apple's thinnest watch yet, and it's also the largest display on an Apple Watch so far. Apple typically introduces design changes and new health features for the Apple Watch, but it rarely does so in the same generation. The Series 5 and Series 7, for example, introduced aesthetic changes like the always-on display and a larger screen, while the Series 6 and Series 8 debuted blood oxygen and temperature sensing respectively. The Apple Watch Series 10 is all about the new display and design. Apple says there's 30% more screen area for viewing more lines of text. The company says it's the biggest wearable display it's ever built, making it even slightly bigger than the Apple Watch Ultra, which also got a new black finish for the Apple Watch Ultra 2 at the event. Since people often glance down at their watch rather than looking at it straight on, Apple made the display 40% brighter when viewed at an angle. The watch also comes in a new polished aluminum finish developed specifically for the Series 10, which will be available in a new black color along with rose gold and silver aluminum. There's a new titanium finish as well that weighs 20% less than the previous stainless steel version. The Apple Watch Series 10 is 9.7mm thin, making it nearly 10% thinner than the Series 9. Apple made several design changes to achieve this slimmer profile, including reducing the speaker system, making it 30% smaller, and adding a new metal back that integrates the antenna into the housing to eliminate a layer. That new back also means the watch charges faster, the company says. Apple says it achieves an 80% charge in 30 minutes, similar to the Pixel Watch 3. The watch is powered by a new chip called the S10. Apple is also focusing on audio with the Series 10, as it's touting clearer phone calls and the ability to play music out loud on the watch. Health is always a major area of focus for the Apple Watch, and that's no different this year. Sleep apnea detection is coming to the watch through a new metric that can pick up potential breathing disturbances overnight. You'll be able to view nightly values in the Health app, and the Apple Watch will analyze your breathing disturbances every 30 days and notify you if it finds consistent signs of moderate to severe sleep apnea. Apple says it expects FDA clearance for the feature soon. The announcement comes after Samsung introduced sleep apnea detection to its smartwatches earlier this year, further underscoring how smartwatches are becoming powerful health tracking devices. The new Apple Watch also has a built-in depth gauge and water temperature sensor for water-related sports and activities. The watch's debut comes exactly a decade after Apple revealed the first Apple Watch on September 9, 2014. What started as a niche accessory 10 years ago has grown into a major product category for Apple. The company's wearables, home and accessories business, which includes the Apple Watch and AirPods among other gadgets, is larger than both the iPad and Mac divisions. Apple was also the top wearable device maker in terms of shipments in the first quarter of 2024, according to the International Data Corporation. The 10th gen model feels like a major departure from last year's watch, building on all of the areas Apple has been steadily refining over the watch's lifetime, such as health, design, and activity tracking. Apple also has more competition than ever, including from new types of health trackers like Samsung's Galaxy Ring. We'll know more once we've had time to try it. The Series 10 ships running the latest watchOS 11 software, which also brings about a ton of new functionality, like the ability to pause your activity rings, use Apple's Check in Safety feature, view pertinent health data within a new Vitals apps, and access Apple's translation app from the wrist with support for 20 languages. Using machine learning, the device can also choose and curate the best images from your photo library to be used as a watch face and automatically add frequently used widgets to your smart stack. Water resistance is still 50 meters, but users get a new depth gauge and water temperature feature that's built with snorkelers in mind. The device also plays nicely with the Oceanic Plus app. The Watch 10 sports Apple's latest S10 chip with a dedicated 4-core neural engine for powering machine learning tasks like the double tap gesture, crash and fall detection, auto workout detection, and Siri. The Apple Watch Series 10 is 9.7mm thick, making it the thinnest Apple Watch ever. Coincidentally, or maybe not, that's the exact same thickness as the new Samsung Galaxy Watch 7. The Apple Watch 10 is available for pre-order from September 9th with a starting price of $399 for the non-cellular model, the same as the Apple Watch 9 before it, and $499 for cellular. Apple expected to be in stores and on users' wrists by September 20th. The Series 10 will be the first Apple Watch to feature sleep apnea detection, using the smartwatch's accelerometer to monitor a user's breathing when regularly worn during sleep. Sleep apnea is a condition that causes people to suddenly stop breathing while they sleep and is typically detected using equipment that monitors a patient's heart, breathing patterns, brain activity, and even limb movements. If the Series 10 detects signs of sleep apnea, it will alert the user and provide a detailed report that can be shared with a doctor, who can make an official diagnosis. New styling options are also nice to see. The jet black aluminum model looks particularly tempting, as do the extra lightweight titanium options. Before that, the Apple Watch Series 8 added temperature sensors for improved health tracking, as well as crash detection, and debuted alongside the Apple Watch Ultra, featuring a larger screen, extra buttons, and a more rugged and durable design to help it compete with products focused on outdoor activities from companies like Garmin and Suunto. However, it's a bit frustrating to see the Apple Watch 10 boast the same 18 hours of battery life as the original model that debuted exactly 10 years ago today. This is especially true when you realize that competitor models like the 45mm Pixel Watch 3 last for a whopping 48 hours between charges. So, are you excited? If you are, then share your thoughts in the comments section. See you in my next video. Goodbye.